What's going on, everybody? So I've been driving the Focus with the cowl induction intake for about 5 days now. 3 of those days I had it installed without the plastic guard on it. I'll show you what that I'm talking about here in a minute. And the last 2 days I've been driving with that plastic guard reinstalled, and I kind of want to go over what I like about it. With the plastic guard off, I felt like it was breathing too hot of air with the factory setup with the Go Green pod in it. I would average about 10 over on my ambient air temperature to my intake temperature, and when I stepped on it, it slowly would creep down in temperature a little bit as I was going down the road. I did the install and I didn't put the plastic piece back on it, and I was averaging 10 to 15, almost 20 degrees above the ambient air temperature constantly. And then when I'd get into it, it didn't really creep down. I had a hard time dropping away from the over 100 zone with it being 80 degrees in Georgia right now. So yesterday I fixed all that and put it back on, drove it around a little bit yesterday. Today I actually got about 2 hours to 3 hours of drive time in it, and it stayed almost at the same temperature as the ambient air. It was about 77 when I left, and when I was going down the highway stepping on it with that thing breathing, I was sitting at like 77, 78 degrees, and that was really cool. And at a red light, I'd stop for about 5-6 minutes, the average time, whatever. It'd get up probably to about 100 degrees, and the second I got open and stepped on it, I could just watch the temperature disappear and drop back down closer to the ambient air temperature. So I do highly recommend the plastic cowl piece. I think it makes a huge difference on how this item is supposed to act. Alright, so this is under the hood after the upgrade. I got that big old hole where the airbox was, and it's not there now. All the piping that was up there, not there now. And the intake's chilling right there, coming through there. So it's kind of a duct tape job because I did a terrible job on the cut. And I admit that, it happens. One day I'll buy a new plastic piece and make it pretty, but that is not today. Alright, come down here, you see where it goes up. And so this is the piece I'm talking about. The original video I saw in the install, the dude was like, oh, it's not that important to put it back in. It's okay, you'll live without it. I beg to differ. This thing's squishy and cushioned and everything, and it keeps all that hot air out of the cowl where it's trying to pull cold air. So now it's only really pulling air from that vent and that vent, all right? Which I feel like makes a world of difference on how this item is supposed to work, and I personally prefer that piece being put in. It wasn't that hard. It was just a little bit of cutting. Y'all figured it out. Especially if you plan on doing something like this, I'm sure you already know how to take all that stuff out. And putting it in wasn't that hard. I just say the hardest thing was making this thing fit the way I wanted it to. Past that, easy squeezy, man.